Now, one man is dead. 4 officers who were initially on the scene for a domestic violence call are on paid administrative leave. This as the investigation into what triggered the gunfire is in the hands of state agents.
I heard the first initial shot, and then it was just like firecrackers going off.
A call for help brought Warren police to this home in the 2000 block of Hamilton Street Southwest. Christina Ducaster stepped outside after hearing about the commotion, catching the exchange between a man and police officers on cell phone video.
The cops wanted to arrest him, and he kept telling them, no, I'm not going to jail. I'm going to make you shoot me if you're not going to let me leave on my own. And I seen him go like this and put his hand straight up in the air with something in his hand. I'm not sure what it was.
That was around the moment shots were fired. .21 News is not showing the moment the man fell to the ground. Ducaster turned her video over to the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, which had 6 agents combing the scene Tuesday morning. Warren police confirmed to 21 News that David Lee Rigg is the man who died as a result of gunfire. A relative says he was on the phone with Rigg in the moments before he was shot.
Our uncle called us, and the white shirt was standing next to us, and he even said on the phone, nephew, I don't have a gun, I just want to leave, I don't want to die. He had anger problems, and he had problems with his mind to where he couldn't be around people.
Rigg's girlfriend tells me she asked officers to get him out of her house when they arrived. Now she and witnesses have questions about how this all unfolded.
I just feel like the situation could have been handled differently. I know now that all his children don't have a father, and he's going to be greatly missed by friends and family.
Now, the witnesses say they don't know if Rigg was holding up a BB gun or a beer can. A lot of rumors about this at the time he was shot. We counted 8 shots total, by the way. I asked police to verify this information, and they did not want to comment on an ongoing investigation. In fact, the Warren Police Department is also running a parallel investigation to determine if police followed procedure when responding. Spinning with every passing breeze, 2,428 pinwheels make up a memorial, with each one representing a nursing home resident in Ohio taken by the coronavirus. The display off Vestal Road was put together by OmniWest Assisted Living staff to remember those who will not be able to participate in events happening this week.
I would get overwhelmed. And I didn't know their names, but I acknowledged the fact that it wasn't just a pinwheel. It represented somebody's life.
It took Julie and a few others about 8 hours to put every single pinwheel into the ground. And if the state updates the number of deaths this week, they plan to add more.
And I wanted to honor their memory in a way that would be touching.
Windsor House operates OmniWest and several other facilities. It's seeing fewer coronavirus cases. Parkside Healthcare Center in Columbiana County is its only facility dealing with some cases of COVID-19. They have more access to testing, and right now they're preparing for what fall and the flu season could bring.
We are already doing and starting to do the flu shots within our assisted living and skilled nursing communities. So right now, we feel confident going into the fall with the flu season will be okay.
It is a moving memorial whenever you go out there. Shepherd of the Valley's clinical director also tells me that they still have 2 cases of COVID-19 right now. He says that the state needed to be better with streamlining testing and access to lab results at the onset of this pandemic. As for visiting loved ones, Rowland is hearing that indoor visitation guidelines could be announced in Ohio as early as next week.
You can go out and play.
When Kimberly Ryder found out her twin kindergartners' school district will be going all virtual in the fall, it altered her plans.
That was kind of very discerning to me because of the fact that I care about the safety of my children, but at the same time, a job that was being held for me for the past 3 months, I'm not able now to take.
Now she'll be the one helping her 5-year-olds Riley and Roxy with their learning each day instead of pursuing her nursing career. Even though this family could use the extra money, her research found it would cost too much for a substitute.
And I did interview a few people for babysitting so I could at least go back to work part-time, and it just defeated the purpose of going back to work because they were so expensive.
While the cost of at-home supervision is a big barrier, other parents tell me they can't afford to stop working, and they're going to have to live with the strain of figuring out a way to support their students with at-home virtual instruction.
We're just kind of tag team in the education part, and that way it doesn't interfere with either one of our jobs.
We thought we were almost out of daycare. We were almost out of that extra cost, and now we're right back into it. We'll work extra hours. We'll find what we can.
These moms were hoping to share duties at home with another parent, but so far, no luck. Learning pods where kids go between a group of homes are popular, and a woman up in Lakewood, Ohio, is playing matchmaker for families who want to divide up duties. Jeff Myers is a widow with 2 kids that will attempt in-person instruction, but he is still on the fence about their plan.
Just making the decision myself is a very challenging thing, you know, not having that other parent to kind of give you a little bit of assurance and come to a mutual understanding about it. Yeah, it's very tough.
The pandemic pinching budgets, putting careers on hold, and forcing families to find their own solutions. With more local news, I'm Lindsay McCoy. Visiting homes in residential neighborhoods without warning. Trumbull County Sheriff deputies involved in a 2-day sweep this month, making sure that registered sex offenders are still behind these doors, living where they say they are.
This is a concerted effort on our part to let those who are registering know that we are going to be checking on them. And not only that, the local jurisdictions know where they're at, and they're going to be checking on them as well.
Our cameras followed along to see the obstacles law enforcement is up against. Some of the offenders not home or in a variety of living conditions.
Just doing the sworn address verification stuff, that's all. How's it going today? Slow?
Deputies search for any indication that the offenders could still be a risk to others or are lying about their actual residence.
You got any mail with something with an address on it?
Kind of a telltale sign of a violation is if we come in and we find toys in the home. Probably shouldn't be there, coloring books, things that a child would have.
The pandemic is not slowing them down. In September, deputies checked on all 222 registered sex offenders in Trumbull County. While most are in compliance, 2 were not. Deputy Molinado says they're under investigation and warrants were issued after questions about their residency claims. After seeing the enforcement in action, we wanted to know just how many more are missing. A 21 News investigation found 275 registered sex offenders are in non-compliance in the state of Ohio. Counties with the highest in Northeast Ohio are Cuyahoga with 32 and Summit with 40. In the Valley, Trumbull County has 2, Mahoning County has 3, and Columbiana County has 2 sex offenders not reporting where they live, which they are required to do by law. Homeless offenders are tough to track, and they often end up at motels like this one. I'm told that they have to register by law to a place where they consider their home, where they return frequently.
Where they can register homeless is limited, and we try to do that here in Trumbull County, but there's no law against being homeless, and sex offenders often don't have anywhere to go because sort of the traditional places where they would go, shelters won't take them, families sometimes won't take them or can't because of these rules.
Assistant County Prosecutor Gabe Wildman has an average of 3 to 5 failure to register cases a month. He's part of the unit that prosecutes sex crimes against children, which can land an offender prison time and a lifetime requirement of registering as a sex offender.
The only thing scarier than living next to a sex offender is not knowing that you live next to a sex offender.